the building that we were just in front of in the parking lot, the far one there, that's our gymnasium. This is our chapel, of course.
Its layout over the acres of land has changed gradually over the decades. The format for its occupants?
We give them less supervision. You obviously don't see the fences and the barriers and the towers and all those kinds of things.
Lately, some have taken advantage of that freedom.
Police are on the lookout for 2 escaped inmates tonight.
We are still tracking the search for 2 men who escaped.
I went to the back part of the basement door, opened the door, and I was gone.
But those opportunities are quickly shrinking. Blackburn will have all of the materials secured they need for the upgrades the first week of March. Now, some of the upgrades that inmates can expect: steel mesh over the windows, increased lighting, more cameras, increased monitored movement, and security-grade doors and locks.
We don't call it controlled movement, it's monitored movement, you know, more so than what we've had in the past.
Warden Steve Haney says the 3 escapes this year have been from 2 dorms, 4 and 5, located at the rear of the grounds and within eyesight of the railroad tracks and the interstate.
We're not going to allow them in behind these buildings at all, even, you know, to sit at a picnic table or anything else.
To help inmates at the minimum security facility understand and follow some of the new parameters, a path of sorts will be outlined using red cables attached to red posts.
When you're leaving that dorm and you're going to the gym, here's the route you take.
And doors of opportunity for the inmates to run out of the dorms will close and lock.
All of the doors except the front doors will be locked 24/7.
Failure to comply with the movement guidelines or any of the rules, old or new, will result in disciplinary action for the inmate, putting his future at Blackburn in jeopardy. A disobedient inmate would find himself possibly carrying out his remaining sentence in a more strict environment.
There's a lot of incentive for them to want to do the right thing and you know, obey the rules and do the things they need to do to be able to stay here.
Sean Evans. Now, while out here at the Acres of Land Winery auction, I had a chance to catch up with a mother and daughter, the daughter of bride-to-be, to talk to them about how the sale of this land is affecting them.
So wedding isn't just a frivolous thing, it's something you save up for your daughter to get married.
We're selling basically everything that you're seeing here, the real estate and the personal property, the catering equipment. They had a lot of wedding receptions and stuff like that here.
And that's what Lynn Curtis was most interested in, the wedding service. She and her family booked a wedding for her daughter at Acres of Land a year ago that was set to take place this September.
For them to have not said, well, we're not doing too well now, can I just give you this money back now?
24-30 an acre on
the Curtis family found out the winery was going under after reading an article in the local paper.
I was promised my dream wedding, and I was under the impression up until a few weeks ago that this is where I was going to have it.
Definitely not what a bride-to-be wants to hear just a few months from her wedding.
Why I'm here is to actually get my money back.
Curtis says she has $3,000 invested with the winery to hold a spot for her September wedding.
You know, it's hard to come to grips with the fact that I'm going to have to plan a wedding in 2 months, but, you know, it'd make it a lot easier if they could just refund our deposit.
Hannah Curtis says it's been difficult to get a hold of the owners. And when I called the number for Acres of Land Winery, the call didn't even go to voicemail, it just hung up. Now, Lynn Curtis tells me that she knows of at least one other family that is in the same situation that they are, that's already given the winery money for a wedding that they're not sure will even happen now. In Madison County, Sean Evans.
She was an energetic girl. She's always out to make somebody laugh, always out for just fun.
David Whitaker remembers the simple times.
At that age in her high school years was the daughter that everybody'd want to have.
His daughter Holly,
she was a great person. She was really, really a great person.
Had the opportunity and promise for a happy and normal life. But just out of high school, her dad says one traumatic night turned everything around.
It was an automatic switch being turned off.
She survived a house fire that took her boyfriend's life.
She changed friends completely. And when that friend change started or happened, that's when substance abuse started.
Substance abuse that began with pills, marijuana, and alcohol. But after being arrested for possession, the abuse switched to synthetics.
I heard them talk about them smoking potpourri, and I thought we're going to Walmart and getting big bags of something.
Whitaker says his daughter became further detached, leaving he and his wife to raise her 3-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I worry about that. I worry about her not having a mom at all. Like, it's my mom's gonna be her mom, basically. And I love my mom to death, and she's raised a bunch now.
Separated by a little more than a decade in age, Tyler says he can hardly remember the good times.
It's a personal hell. You know, you've got a person that you can look in a picture and remember, this was just so wonderful. This was a great time. This is going to be a great future. And then all of a sudden, it just slaps you in the face and you're wondering, am I going to go in the house tomorrow and find them dead?
He says he knows there are more parents out there going through the same thing and wants something done about it.
And it's so easily accessible to them. Something needs to be done. Mom and Dad don't think it won't happen, because it does.
In Madison County.